I think it's two key themes that came out of today's panel, and both really build off Christy Argelaron, our fearless leader at the collective, put in this concept of the co-op garden, humbly approaching our partnerships, and both of those are really derivatives of today's conversation. Standardization was a big one. We're proud to announce that we're moving our standardization framework over to the IAB. They're going to accept that and push that forward to the industry, which makes perfect sense. We're going to still be involved, like all RMNs should be involved, have a seat at the table, but the IAB is the right agency to then move that forward.
Why is standardization so important, and why is that has not happened, and what do you expect it'll bring about?
So you heard Cedric from P&G talk about price points and friction. Some of those things get removed when we all operate like one industry. So retail media networks today have very different methodologies, very different access patterns, even in terms of like how you might pay an IO or how you might execute a search campaign. The simpler we make that, the lower the friction points are for our agency and CPG partners. It doesn't remove all the barriers, but it makes it easier to approach us as one group of marketing opportunities.
And where do you see adoption going with that?
With standardization? I think that's the big question. It could go in a lot of angles. Measurement methodology, that one should be open and transparent. Folks who want to adopt the standardized version should. Maybe there's a couple flavors of that, and then they could get a stamp of approval. Audience definition, if Pepsi's looking for their VIP consumer, they have to go redefine that 17 different times, when really there could be an industry definition of what that is, like a macro definition that turns into different audiences for each RMN. It could turn into even just IO process and how reporting flows back to their MTA. Lots of separate ways that standardization can come to life, which is exciting and daunting, because there's a whole ocean to boil. We can't do all of it. I think creative standardization was the first big win. Now it should move into all the other places that the CPGs see friction.
And let's talk about the buy side and what you're doing with the trade desk.
Yeah, so that's the second chapter, right? We can show up on all the DSPs because some agencies and CPGs only want to work with one. And our RMN usually picks one as well, and then inevitably they don't make everybody happy. So we can humbly take our assets in a privacy-safe manner through Clean Room into a trade desk or into any buying platform, but trade desk is one of the most prolific, and make that available for someone else to trade on, right? So they may have a better rate card, they may have invested in a programmatic team. That's going to be tough for them to invest in our managed service program. But if we can show up with a hybrid model or a self-serve model on the platforms that they're already buying in, it just makes that friction melt away and makes the partnership grow. We'll have more levers to pull to build the partnership.